Well, Eric Abetz was one of the 7 opposition frontbenchers and party whips who resigned en masse last night. It's the revolt that we've been talking about this morning. He'll join more than a dozen Liberal colleagues who will cross the floor against the emissions trading scheme, which has pushed the Liberal Party into meltdown. That's Tony Abbett's expression last night, and plunged Malcolm Turnbull's leadership into crisis. Senator Abetz joined us in our Parliament House studio now. It's revolving doors here, Senator. Thank you very much for being with us.
Good morning.
Senator Abetz, 7 senior Liberals resigned last night. Was this mutiny coordinated?
No, it wasn't. We all came to our positions independently, and it's a matter of regret that we have come to this decision. But at the end of the day, the emissions trading scheme is such an important issue for this country that to rush it through now without proper scrutiny of a Senate committee, I think would be irresponsible. Also, I believe it would be irresponsible not to wait for Copenhagen. Now, there are some that say that this sort of delay is tantamount to being a climate change sceptic, etc., etc. Well, can I say the Australian Greens, Senator Xenophon, who aren't sceptics, support this delay.
Are you a sceptic?
No, I describe myself as an agnostic because I believe that there are scientists that stack up very well on both, and can I say it's not only two sides of this debate, it's more nuanced than that.
When did you decide to resign?
Look, I've been cogitating over this for some considerable period of time, but of course you only actually make the decision when the resignation's offered.
Yes, well, I'm just asking you because I was watching Sky TV not an hour before Tony Abbott came out and made the declaration, and I'm pretty sure I heard you say that reminding us you'd spoken in the chamber in support of the bill.
No, in support of Malcolm Turnbull's amendments.
That's right, that's what I meant.
Yes, and I support the Malcolm Turnbull amendments, but I also support the delay of consideration until after Copenhagen and after a Senate committee inquiry. The amendments that I do support will be a change of multi-billion dollars worth, and I believe it's important that people are able to consider those 70 pages worth of amendments in some detail. I had only seen them about 24 hours beforehand. I've been through them and I do have some questions, and I think we need that to be fully aired.
So you support the amendments if as long as we waited till Copenhagen. That's a different view from someone like Andrew Robb, who's had a close look and thinks the bill is still too flawed to pass as it is, for instance. There is a split on this, but you all seem to be coming together on the one side, which is you want this bill blocked and you want Malcolm Turnbull, therefore, to go if he's not going to make that happen.
I don't see this issue through the prism of leadership. I see this as a policy issue and one where I have to do what I believe is within the best interests of Australia and in particular my home state of Tasmania.
Even if it means tearing down the leader in the meantime?
Oh, well, I don't believe that's what I'm doing. What I'm doing is taking a stance on an issue. I respectfully disagree with my leader's position, and that is why I could no longer in all conscience serve on his front bench, and that is why I offered my resignation.
With respect, Senator, you must have known that if 7 senior front benchers walk away from, and basically as a vote of no confidence in the leadership on this issue, that is effectively tearing down the leader. It's ripping the floor out from under him.
I was not aware that 7 were going to take a similar stance. I do know that Senator Minchin and Senator Parry and myself, we felt very heavy of heart in relation to this matter, and being friends and the 3 in the leadership group in the Senate, we did discuss our positions together, but as for the others, they acted independently.
Ian Macfarlane made the point that, normally policy decisions get made within the processes of the party. All those processes have been played out. You participated in all of them. You're allowed to speak. You're allowed to vote.
Can I say with great respect in relation to that, I was in the party room. The public have now seen the published list of those who spoke for and against, and it is completely unacceptable to assert that a majority of people in the party room supported the shadow cabinet proposal. The majority, a clear majority, spoke against, and it is a misrepresentation of the party room decision to assert otherwise.
There seems to be as many versions of those figures, people claiming to have seen them and looked at the lists and coming up with completely different interpretations of them.
Well, the list has been published, and what I would invite any journalist to do is go through that list and independently ring each member on that list, and you will find that that list is correct.
At the end of the day, if it comes to it, to get this emissions trading scheme blocked, you would support a leadership challenge against Malcolm Turnbull.
As I've said, I don't see this through the prism of leadership.
No, but if Malcolm Turnbull doesn't budge, he's still supporting the legislation, he still wants it voted on today and he wants it passed.
I don't see this through the leadership prism. I see it through the prism of a very, very important issue, and it's one of these surprising situations where I line up with the Australian Greens and Senator Xenophon in saying that this should be delayed for the benefit of a Senate inquiry.
Just very briefly, how do you see it playing out, though, being resolved, if not with a leadership change?
Let's wait and see. There's a proverb which I think has now fallen into disrepute, that a week is a long time in politics. I think it should now be a day is a long time in politics.
Or yesterday, just a couple of hours.
Yes, and we'll see what happens.
Eric Abetz, thank you very much for joining us on Breakfast.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Senator Eric Abetz is the Deputy Leader of the Liberal Party, and as such he's going to be very busy in that chamber today because a vote was supposed to be set down for 3:45 this afternoon. It looks increasingly likely that will not happen today, a vote on this bill.